Good night, folks. Thank you for joining Mike and Mike another week. We have a good topic for you to discuss tonight. We are talking about politics again, and we have some things that we're going to discuss. And feel free to chime in, even though we are pre-recorded. When we post it, you can, share your thoughts and stuff like that by writing your comments and so forth. So feel free, and please also like and subscribe. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. My name is Mike. You have the original gangster,
yes.
Justin.
Hello,
King
good night. King Tox.
You have the Prime Minister of Belize over here, and you have Baby Trump over here, a.k.a.
First of all, that's Baby King Trump.
Baby King Trump. I hear.
King Trump and Emperor Elon.
Yeah, their kingdom probably soon fall based on what they're going on with. But we have some good topics we're going to talk about, and without further ado, we're going to jump right to it. So, gentlemen, what is right there on the agenda and popping in the news right now? We have Trump and his colleagues and the whole shebang are trying to attack. I use the word attack, but they're trying to capture Iceland.
Yeah.
Because Iceland have, I think they have good minerals.
Yeah, they do.
In their island, in the land itself, and they kind of in between Russia, the U.S., Canada. So they sit.
Well, they're literally at the top of the world.
Right, they sit in the middle of those. So and one of the things why the U.S. it kind of was having base there is because the way they sit in a geographical location, they give them the advantage.
They have a great vantage point.
They get a great advantage with Russia and all these other countries. Yeah. So I think this is one of the logical reasons where they're trying to say, you know what, we want to take over Iceland and stuff like that, but these people are not having it. So
that's where the Vikings are from. They're not going to be able to take over Iceland. They're not going to do that.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, start with Justin. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, the angle where the U.S. is going.
I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, from a strategic point, that's brilliant. Because like we were talking before, the United States is no longer a global superpower. They're a regional superpower. So basically what they're doing now, since they know they don't have power all over the world, they're basically trying to control the global north. The global north would be North America, Canada, Greenland, Iceland, things like that. So that's based from a military strategic point, that's brilliant. Only thing is that this is Iceland, okay? This is where the Vikings are from. Yeah. They're not going to allow that. Definitely. Now, they might be able to come to some sort of accord, but if you notice, Iceland, you know why? Do you know the story between Iceland and Greenland? The country of Iceland is a beautiful island, okay, discovered by, the Nordics, the Vikings, right. Going back to Leif Erikson, all that nonsense. They called it Iceland because they didn't want nobody visiting there. So that's why they called it Iceland, even though it's gorgeous. They got, they have the geysers, things like that, to where Greenland. The reason why they call Greenland Greenland is because Greenland is basically covered in a sheet of ice, and they wanted visitors, but nobody goes to Greenland. So that's the whole difference between Greenland and Iceland. But what it is, as far as them trying to take over Iceland, it's not going to happen.
I strongly believe
I doubt
that
it very much.
He ain't going nowhere. What do you think of Angel?
I think like Justin was saying, it gives the U.S. an strategic edge, like a vantage point based on, like you said, its geographical location. So military-wise, it's good. It's actually a good access point. Iceland is based out there. That's Europe, right?
Yeah, they're right on the top of the world. There's a major U.S. Air Force base in Reykjavik, in the capital.
Right. You could set up a base right there. Like you said, it's like almost like in the middle of the world. You set up a base right there, anything happen, boom, you have total access.
I mean, that's protection from the north. Like as far as, because I think what's happening now, I have a feeling, and I hate to say this, I have a feeling that our country most likely is on the precipice of being invaded. When, I don't know.
Why do you say that?
Because we're losing power. Like I was saying earlier, we are not a global superpower. We are a regional superpower. That is not. And trust me, I'm not happy about that. Because obviously America's all I know. But what it is, that's, to say that, obviously, because they need protection from the north. Because if they do take over Iceland, then that's basically protection from invasion from the north. Since they already have, basically Mexico, southern United States on one side. I mean, to be honest with you, on the West Coast, there's not really any protection there. And then on top of that, with the infiltration of the Chinese government.
Out, right?
I'm sorry?
It'd be a little too far out.
What do you mean? Well, no, it's not that. It's just that you really have nothing protecting you on that side, on the West Coast. And then you also have to remember, the Chinese infiltration invasion of the United States is very, very much real. Like that, this has been going on probably for a good. Chinese have been here forever. They've been here for 100 years. When I was talking about the last episode, when we were talking about, Jamaicans been here, for 100 years. Chinese been here probably even longer than that. They helped build the railroads. And then we already said what Chinese did with the West Indies. They're the biggest merchants.
So Trump,
Stronghold.
From your perspective, what do you think?
I mean, I kind of disagree with Justin. I think we still we are the world power. I think the US is still the world power.
I think he always in denial, but
it's my opinion.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Can I have my opinion?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right.
My apologies. My apologies.
Yeah,
sir.
I think we're the strongest nation in the entire world. Yeah, we're military strength is concerned. Also.
Was yes, sir.
I don't know. China got me worried.
Now the U.S. does hold a lot.
China has me worried.
A lot of power.
Because trust me, I always agree with you. You know that. But China has me worried.
Put us
They
to
really
the
do.
test. That's all they have to do. If you really want to see if the U.S. is the strongest nation on earth, let them put us to the test.
The thing is,
That's nuclear warfare, bro.
The funniest thing is that
I mean,
That means you know what happens after nuclear warfare? That means we're gonna go in with the strip bars, and the strippers got 3 titties and shit.
the reason why America
That's
looks
a
so
heck of a
the
thing.
reason why America looks so strong in power is because they invest so much in military and to the world.
Yeah, the military-industrial
they spend
complex.
I think the numbers was like
Trillions.
of dollars every year or
Yeah.
every other year, or whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, these other global, these other worlds, not worlds, countries, maybe spend that within the next
Yeah.
10 years.
Well, if you notice, we're the only country that has a military base in every other country. If you notice, no other countries have a military base here in our country.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's I'm glad you brought that
That's a
up,
great
and that's
point.
a point factor where it's that why you can have all these entry points, and we know who want to also defend ourselves. And this is one of the things where Russia was also siding with Cuba lately, in probably about maybe a year ago, where they want to set up some. They had a submarine came across,
Yeah.
and the U.S. was trying to tamper on, and Russia said, "Touch my shit.
Yeah.
I'll even go and look across my shit, and you'll see what happened." And U.S. after back. Same thing with China. When China had their ship in the and I think that they had their oil spill.
Yeah.
And the cargo ship was not. Something happened, and U.S. was trying to go and investigate, and China said, "Touch my shit. Go and touch my shit and see." No, these are big time countries, like especially Russia.
Yeah.
You want to talk about challenging as what you mentioned. The fact of the matter is that you still can't touch little North Korea, which they also good in weaponization, right? But you're talking about world power and strong. Why don't touch North Korea? Simple North. I'm talking about you.
North Korea started nuclear war,
So
man.
you're talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. Trump.
All right. So
Simple North Korea, which he went over there several times to try to talk to Kim Jong-un.
I mean, they have a good relationship.
That man is a psychopath.
Nuts.
No, they have a good
What do you
relationship.
call it, psycho?
I ain't gonna
Nuts.
front. He got a fresh fucking fade though, but he's a fucking psychopath.
Yo, he stays with it.
He stays with a fresh fade.
Yeah. So according to my observation, North Korea and Donald Trump or this administration, they have a good relationship.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, this guy doesn't like war,
Yeah.
but he's a businessman.
I mean, a lot of world leaders respect him because they know he's gangster. They may not like him, but they respect him.
He's straight
And I
up, too,
agree
though.
to a
Doesn't
certain extent,
sugarcoat
but
anything.
at the end of the day,
No,
the
he doesn't.
relationship got a little bit better before Trump get back. Because when Trump was in office the first term, he and Kim Jong were.
That's not true. That's not true.
He went over there and he was trying to demand. Matter of fact, one of the things what he's trying to do, when he went over there when he was in power in 2016 and further on until 2020, he went over there and said, "Listen, I don't want you to do in these missile testing and stuff. You know, North Korea have missiles, and Russia, not Russia, U.S. doesn't have those type of missiles where they can stay where they at.
Yep.
They don't have to come in no water
And hit
no
us.
ship,
And hit
clear
us.
out Hawaii and Florida without touching here. U.S. don't have that type of capabilities, right? Russia also have the same
What are
sonic
you
missiles.
talking about, man? What do you
No, the United States does have that capabilities. Are they going to let us know that they have that? But
No, they
trust
won't.
me.
They
They'll
don't.
never-
Trust
They
me, if
don't.
China and Russia has it, we do too.
Right.
Okay.
Stop.
Remember, we're
right
still
on. I get what you're talking
remember, we're
about.
still United States, bro. We're still United States.
Listen, there are certain things that I agree with. What
Next to
United States-
Israel, we're the dirtiest motherfuckers in the game. Trust me, we got it. Next to Israel, because those are the dirtiest motherfuckers in the game.
There are weapons also what Russia has where the world not even come up close, and this is one of the things why they're fearful that if they what they call it disturb Russia to a certain extent. I know that Putin, he's crazy.
Yeah.
He will take this to a nuclear war.
Yeah, he will.
Which their weapons, they have this thing called the sonar missiles. No radar can detect that. You see it when you're blowing up.
Yep.
Is that on the water?
As much as US has a great technology, and even China, who is advanced in technology, making US look like they in third grade in technology.
Yeah.
Still cannot compete with those guys.
No.
Military wise,
But see, with Russia, what I respect about Russia, don't start none, won't be none.
it don't be nothing.
You know what I
Be
mean?
nothing.
I
Don't start
don't start, none, won't be none. I'm like, I do.
It's
I
been
do.
an interesting take.
Yeah, don't start. No, I'm like, that's always been their attitude. Don't start none, won't be none. And to be honest with you,
I don't know where you think you live in, man.
mm-hmm.
The U.S. is a powerful country.
I never did doubt.
No,
I never
we
dispute
are.
Powerful
that.
country and
It's
it's the
powerful.
face of the planet.
It used to be world power, but it's not anymore. It's just as what King Tut said.
no, I
Used
said
to-
no. I said world superpower.
Yeah, and I said I
So,
disagree.
Now they're
That's what
still
I
a
said.
world power, but they're a regional superpower now.
Correct. The regional,
They're not a world superpower.
Correct.
They're a regional. So I'm like, they're still somewhat of a but I want to say, and I have to, and like I said, I'm very much pro-American. I'm not. This is all I know. But when you have to break it down to brass tacks, as far as Russia, China, and then also the United Arab Emirates. Okay, we can't forget about them. Okay, those guys got some shit up their sleeve too. So it's not we've lost a lot of our footing because of basically our own country has imploded. I mean, basically, you don't want to end up like United Kingdom. They're bad right now. They're about to be completely taken over by Sharia law. So if the United States keeps up with their fucking basically the United States needs to stop being pussies. They really do. As far as this whole woke nonsense, this whole shit of being tolerant, all that shit is out the window. Okay, you have to go back to being who you were when you really were a fucking superpower.
So
Even if that means playing the bad guy, then be the bad guy.
There you go, and that's what we're doing. So
But
who has
that's
the
not gonna
strongest
happen again.
military in the world?
The strongest military in the
For
world.
me, the United States, like Justin said,
But it depends. It
that's all-
depends
that's all we
where you're
know.
coming from equipment wise or manpower.
Manpower wise, it's going to be China.
China.
They
right
have the
off
biggest.
bat.
They have the
Who has
biggest
the-
military.
Who have the strongest military in the world?
Who has
Right
the
now-
strongest? We can't necessarily
Well,
say.
The US.
Let's take it, the U.S.
The U.S.
Yeah,
States,
I mean, yeah. I'm like, if you
100%.
think of weapons, I'm like, obviously, we're built
There
on
you
the
go.
the
That's-
military-industrial complex.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, but then
But if you don't have no one to use the weapon, how the hell you gonna fight?
exactly.
What do you mean they don't have anyone to use a weapon?
Okay.
They don't
The
have anybody
strongest-
that's
listen,
qualified
okay,
to use those weapons
Let's
here.
put it on logical term, right?
Come on,
Let's
they had
break
some
it down.
fucking
You
tranny
have the
weirdo
US.
at the head of the Department of
You
Defense.
have the
or something.
U.S. who has a strong military power, right? Meaning they have a lot of equipments, right? Okay. You have a country like China, whose military human level is the population of the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Population is 340 million. That's their military. We're not talking about civilians and stuff like that. That's the military power, human power.
And mind you, these are highly
Now,
disciplined
U.S.
soldiers.
top population is 340 million.
Yeah.
The entire U.S. government, when it comes to police, law enforcement, military, Navy SEALs, etc., is 740,000, right?
Yeah.
Out of the entire 340 million. How the frig you gonna fight a war when when you have military let's say, take the cops them out of it and use the soldiers
This-
and the army.
This president is not a president of war. He's a president of
Yeah, no,
peace.
Yeah, he is a president of
He's
peace.
a deflecting now.
No, I'm
But you
serious.
ask a question and we answered it.
Yeah,
No,
but
you
we
decide to
are the
shift.
strongest side. So we
You
are-
gotta also understand that intelligence matter too. The U.S. intelligence is next level. It's
I
absolutely.
mean, the
I
CIA
mean, is
and
it?
stuff like that. I mean, there's
Is
a thing
it?
like the KGB
Of course.
and MI6 and what is the England spies agent again?
Yeah, but I don't know, as
the
far
US
as
the U.S. gonna stop some stuff. They're gonna foil some stuff before it even happens.
I mean, most of the stuff, especially in the southern region where they stop a lot of like these terrorism and stuff like that. They do.
Right.
I give them credit on that.
Yeah.
They detect some of those shits before they even happen. And sometimes
yeah.
they slip through the cracks and they reach
Yeah.
on land soil and they still stop them. I mean, yeah, I give them. Those are some good intelligence. But at the same time, the problem with the U.S. is that they dip their nose in everything possibly. And
Yeah.
no one cannot dictate to them what is right or from what is wrong. It's like they
I don't think anyone should
govern
dictate
shit.
to anybody, any of us.
What?
Nobody can just call shots and say you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that.
No, but that's what the U.S. was doing. And
That's
at one
what-
point,
again, exactly.
at basically, they
No,
were the
we
biggest.
Still, we still do that, you know.
Yeah, they were the biggest
They do
bullies
that
on the block.
But don't let them do it.
On
Don't
a
let them do
minute
it to
level.
us.
But they're not. But they're not. But on top of that, but what it is, they kind of lost their footing as far as being the biggest bullies on the block. And mind you, like I said, I'm very much pro-American.
So who's the big bully on the block?
There's a couple of big bullies on the block now. Like I said,
Right, you said the biggest,
Huh?
right?
there's no such thing as the biggest bully now. We have a
America
couple
is-
of big bullies.
America is.
America. I mean, I'm not
America
like
is a part of the big bullies.
Yeah, they're part of the big bullies, but they're not the biggest bullies on the
bully.
block.
They are part of
They
the
kind of
biggest
lost
bully.
their footing, man. Like if you really think of it, I want to say, look in the last 15 to 20 years in the United
I
States.
swear this guy should have born here.
So 75% of the satellite that are in space, right,
Yeah.
are in space,
Yeah.
belongs to the U.S.
United States.
Yeah, that's a psyop. Those
That's
satellites
all
are
the
not in space.
advantage.
What?
that we
That's a
need.
psyop. Those satellites are not in space.
Where are they?
They're not. That was all like Hollywood. You know, that was all Hollywood
Listen.
productions. Remember the word?
All right, so it
the Earth
belongs
is flat,
to
not
Elon.
round, sir.
It belongs to Elon.
Huh?
They belong
Yes,
to
it
Elon
does belong to Elon.
company.
Yes, it belongs to Emperor
Right,
Elon.
and
Just like
Elon,
North Korea.
Elon is
Smart
American,
dude.
right?
One
So like you
right,
were saying,
right?
up there too.
So-
the space station that belongs to the U.S. and Russia and all these.
Have
and
anyone's
China.
actually?
And that's why Mike was absolutely right when he said when you invest in like Elon stuff, you actually invest in his intellectual property. For him to have thought of like what he has.
Yeah, but have any of us
Right.
really
So-
seen
so
these
what do
space
you
stations?
think-
I don't think those spaces exist.
No, not
Yeah,
space
exist.
stations. Not space station.
Mhm.
Right? These
Satellites.
satellite, right?
the satellites. That's what I'm
So-
saying. Are they really up
They're
there?
there. They're there.
What
Do we
what-
have ocular proof that they're up there?
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, we send rockets up like.
They are.
Not just even by the consent of the U.S., but
But have we seen the rockets go all the way into orbit? You got to remember, we're in a firmament. So obviously, the firmament only is only
That's
so
next
high.
level stuff. He can't comprehend that. I can't comprehend that either.
Nah, but
No,
I'm
we're
saying
gonna have to bring Elon
but
on the show for that.
E-
Elon
E-
understands.
Right, Elon's really breaking barriers right now.
Yeah, all right. So, what do you think those satellites are used for?
To have Elon is like having Michael Jordan on your team.
To be honest, I'm assuming if those satellites are up there, I'm assuming they're being used for surveillance.
There's some form of weapons also, right?
Yeah, of course.
All
There's
right,
some
so
sort of
there you
laser
go.
beam
So
or
if
something
we
like
if
that.
we're in control of 75% of them,
Mm-hmm.
that's the majority, right?
That is the
Absolutely.
majority.
Right.
Yes, it
So-
is.
and you're gonna tell me that we're not powerful?
That belongs to Elon, and that NASA in itself.
And respectfully, Elon belongs to us. the
No, he
United
doesn't. He
States.
belongs to South Africa.
No, it belongs to the U.S.
He's a
How?
South African
This is
national.
where this is where he
How
pledged
he belongs to the
allegiance.
US?
He is a
This
U.S.
is
citizen.
This is where he pledged
Yeah,
allegiance.
but not natural birth.
No.
Explain
No, he's
what
South
you're
African.
saying.
He's South African.
Explain what you're going
What?
to say.
I just lost you in a thought.
Or I
What
think they
was
call
it?
him
About
Afrikaner or
this,
something like that.
belong to
His investments
NASA.
right
The
here.
satellite belongs
No,
to
I'm
NASA.
saying you have portion that belongs to Elon, and then you have portion that belongs to NASA. But then again, technically, NASA belongs to the government. So you
Yes.
have that portion where you have, okay, out of the 75, you have maybe 45 or 50 belongs to Elon, right? And then the other 35 or 25 belongs to NASA, which is the government, right? So you're saying that combined with these two things, the U.S. control these? That's what you're saying? Even though Elon is he's on the sidebar, not even on the sidebar, along with his partners, Trump.
Yeah, but you also got to remember aerospace technology. The United States been in cahoots with China and Russia forever. This goes back to like the 80s.
But I'm glad you brought up China. You know that what you've seen right now, China have at least, just for that country alone, half of that, if not more. Because remember, US is sharing between Elon, which is a regular civilian, right? China itself own everything. He has no sharing and not even negotiation.
Yeah, it's owned by the
other
Chinese government.
partnership.
It's owned by
They
the Chinese
own
government.
that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Own what?
They're satellites. Just like all
So
the
you
satellites.
say
but
Elon is sharing with who?
the US.
United States.
That's how
Elon
they.
is an American, right?
He's not a, well. If something should happen and they ship his ass back, where you think those satellites?
Ship his
gonna
ass
be?
It's
Where?
weird.
Where he come from? Where you think he come from? He was
From
born in Africa.
South Africa.
South Africa.
Nobody
US
shipping
citizen.
Elon nowhere. Yo,
His
Elon
family owned emerald mines.
is a national treasure.
He is a national
Absolutely.
treasure.
He is.
All hell, Emperor Elon.
Yo, we ship back you before we ship back Elon.
100%. Telling you.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yo, I'll volunteer to go back to Jamaica.
Right. That's a fact. We need Elon.
That I agree on.
That's a real
But on a
perspective.
serious
Right
note,
there.
though, right? So, how do you cripple a country?
Economy.
Economy.
That's the
The
first
easiest
one.
What
way.
else can you use, like modern day?
I mean, let me see. Crippling
We live in a
economy.
technological advanced society, right?
You just have a
Yeah.
technological edge over them.
Oh yeah, you have a blackout.
We control 75%
Yeah, you conduct a
of the
blackout.
satellite.
Yeah, you conduct a blackout.
What are you talking
Let me
about?
ask you a question. Since if you engage to follow the news or follow what's going on out there, okay. So you know that China. It's about.
Yo, you should move to China.
No,
I swear to you should move
because
to
I am
China.
telling you because you
Let's
keep
see how
on-
you like it when you move to
keep
China.
on barking at the US is this and US is that, and not understanding that there are countries out there with advanced technology better than the US. For instance, case in point, China has this weapon what they developed, and Elon wanted to get involved with it, but the China tell them to go fuck yourself. So they have a satellite that can generate energy that's hotter than the sun 10 times fold.
And we don't have
And you
that.
don't have that, correct?
We probably got
What's the name
something.
of
We
the
probably
company?
got something
What?
to counter that
What's the name
though.
of the company?
What name of the company? That's the government of China. What are you talking about? Is
Yeah, but what's it name? So the government have that.
Yes,
it's
it's
not
the
a private.
government
It's
is
not
the
a
one that
private-owned
developing
company.
it. No, it's not. It's the
You
government
don't
is
know
the
what
one
you're
that
talking
developing
about.
that.
Stop.
And the fact that they already signed off to put it in orbit, right? And the funniest thing that also can be weapon. Now you have a weapon, a satellite up there that can generate 10 times heat than the sun.
Yeah.
You tell me something that this country can wipe out the entire planet,
But
including themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
not
They
just-
unalive
Exactly.
themselves.
It's not just China. It's in Europe and it's here in
No, it's
America
not.
also.
What do you mean it's in Europe?
If we control 75% of the
These
the
are the
satellite
little
and
mamba
everything.
pambi satellites you're talking about where I can't read image and probably.
Stop the nonsense, bro. We're talking about Elon, bro.
Yo,
Right.
not because Elon developed.
You see, where technology is concerned, the government is like 30 years to 40 years ahead of us.
What?
So when you're able to go on your phone and look up Google Maps, right? And it shows your location. You know, we use it all the time. Right?
Yes.
Right? And it shows your location, and we're able to tell, okay, it was supposed to be at point B, but it was, dropped off at point A. What do you think the government have? And you're 30 years ahead of us.
Yeah, they probably got some shit.
No, look, keep in mind, the government do have advanced ahead of technology. Right?
Yeah.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to pertaining to technology, they always ahead of society,
Yeah.
right? And there's some shit they're not
30
told to
years
share.
ahead of us, Mike. You know,
Right.
far that.
Who told you that they're 30 years ahead of
The
us?
government.
The government is at 30 years ahead.
Yeah.
Well, whether
Our
that's
whistleblowers.
factual, or
I believe
not,
that because to be honest
I know
with
they
you,
advanced.
when did we get
ahead of-
introduced to the internet? In the late 90s? In the 90s?
Yes, that was in 19.
Government had the internet in the 60s.
No, the military. Where you think the internet is coming from? Military. That
Yeah.
was that was a system that was used for the military communication.
So why you think China would have a weapon that that can create what? What kind of weapon?
Well,
is
nah,
it?
it's not necessarily a weapon. I think it's like a second sun or something like that. Like they're able to generate another sun.
The energy.
Right.
Yeah.
What it
Let me tell you what the name of company is, guys. It's,
Wha-
it's a private. It's
not
not
a
a public
private company.
traded company.
Mike, what's the word you use all the time? Fearmonger, something like that.
Fear mongering.
Fearmonger, that's exactly what it is. Because we ain't never seen them stuff before.
No, but the leverage that the
purported
United
stuff.
States has.
So there's rumors, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think in Iran, the helicopter
In Iran?
crashed, right?
Yeah.
Where it was bringing the prime minister, the president of Iran, and it chopped the helicopter in two. It's like
Oh, that was a direct energy weapon, probably.
there you go.
Yeah, a DEW.
Right. So what do you think they used to do that?
It's like that movie they make. You call it.
This was real life. This
No,
was
direct energy
movie.
weapon is what they use to burn Hawaii on fire. Is what they use for for those California
correct.
fires.
But I'm saying
It's a
that
DEW.
some of the what I was kind of reflecting on that some of these things to where the government use and it doesn't look like it's correlated, but the government use also movies, entertainment to introduce you to some things that's coming into society.
Yeah, that's predictive programming.
Right. So, like for instance, what you mentioned with that helicopter thing.
The whole concept of Hollywood is a major psyop.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. But at the same time, you have to look into it that, listen, I respect the U.S. They have powers. They used to be the superpower. They used to be
So
the
who's the
world power.
superpower now?
You got a couple.
The United States.
You don't have one. You have a few.
You got Russia. You got China.
You got North
You
Korea.
have, you have North Korea. You have the United Arab Emirates.
You have
Can't
called-
nobody flex in the U.S. I'm telling you
It's,
right now.
it's called nuclear.
No, let's put it this
nuclear
way.
Fusion
What's that,
technology.
a company?
Let's put it this
Right.
way. On this
That-
side of the world, can't nobody fuck with the U.S.
Nobody. Not even
But
a little bit.
like I said, on this side of the world, you got to remember, if you really think of it, if you look at the Western Hemisphere, it's just us. So that's why can't nobody fuck with us on this side. But if you look on the Eastern Hemisphere, yeah,
Man,
there's a couple of guys that can
I've
fuck
never
with
seen
us.
anything happen in lightning speed the way I seen. Like one day that it was a plane flying over DC or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, they got up there so fast, bro.
Yeah, well, because this is our area. This is our turf.
They don't technology right now where the White House possesses. They don't need a plane to take out a threat
He
anymore.
says only China.
What?
What? Who else got them?
What are you talking about?
The nuclear fusion.
Share them things with me, Mike.
What's
Who
that?
else has the nuclear fusion?
Europe has it. Russia has it. China has it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Europe has it. And I have no idea. They're just not using it because I don't know what the hell's going on with Europe.
What you talking
Nuclear fusion. Nuclear
fusion,
nuclear
yeah.
fusion. Right.
I mean, it may develop now by Russia because that thing came out for a while now when
but
China
say-
was developed, and they were the first one who
No,
developed it.
China is known for copying things. They wait until you do
Not
it,
because
then they copy it.
what are you talking about, Mike? They're the most
I mean,
advanced
what am I
technological
People.
world advanced power in the entire world. What are you talking about?
Allegedly.
Yes,
Give
they
us
make
some-
copy.
Allegedly.
They make copy.
Give us a
They
technology.
make copy.
Tell us about technology.
Allegedly.
You're right, but you also got to remember they're like this little.
What? It doesn't mean because of they're short, just like Mexicans. Right. Because the
Right.
Mexicans,
So-
what happened?
I wasn't nice.
Look at the Mexicans. I mean, that mean they're. Come on, guys. I mean,
Huh?
look, yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, you're looking at it this way. China is one of the. I would say.
Let me give you something that's current, right? Because you're telling me about China is so advanced and they have the
The
best
U.S.
technology.
is 5 years,
Hold on a
minimum
minute.
5 years behind China technology. 5 years.
Blackwell GPUs, ARPA GPUs.
Yeah, but that's just in
That's
what do you-
all America, and that's all NVIDIA
Yeah,
or NVIDIA, however you pronounce it.
but that's just in
And
technology.
China doesn't
if you
have
think
it.
of it, how many U.S. military bases are in China?
Right?
How many U.S. military bases are in China?
That's a good question.
That's quite a few.
That's a good question.
How many Chinese military bases are in the United States?
None.
Well,
U.S. don't have
that we
anything
know
over
of.
it. The U.S. don't have anything over there. Either.
Exactly. No, U.S. has
No,
has
there
bases.
That was in 2019. China tell them to get that shit out.
They
of
got
it
'em
because
all
of
out.
Trump. Yes.
So what about Taiwan? Isn't Taiwan still under U.S. control?
I
Isn't
think so. I
Singapore
think
still
so.
under U.S. control?
I think so, but it's still not part of China.
Taiwan is
it's-
part of
it's
China,
re- it's
but it just belongs to the
close.
U.S.
It's
close.
It's close.
Yeah, it's in
Close.
proximity.
Who's
Same
that-
thing with Singapore.
I mean, that's why the things come back to the point which they want to inhabit Greenland, Iceland.
Yeah.
Because it's right there in the smack where if they inhabit
that protects them from the north. That's why.
That's going to put them back into the slight region of world power.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're gonna continue to be a regional. They're gonna continue to be a regional world power. As far as the days of one country being the global superpower and all be all, that's not happening anymore. That's not.
It's not.
There's basically gonna have to be some sort of. There's gonna have to be some sort of accord or some sort of a consortium.
That's why we have NATO.
Huh?
Right? That's why.
Yeah, but see, NATO's bullshit. I don't agree with NATO.
Right out of my mouth.
The reason why I don't agree with NATO is because this is the whole reason why we're beefing with Russia. Because, like I said, once again, Russia, Putin, he says, look, he has this attitude, don't start and there won't be none. As long as you don't put a NATO country next to me, we're not going to have a fucking problem. What do they go and do? They try and make Ukraine a fucking NATO country.
No problem.
You understand? This is why. And how did he do to react? He took that piece of Ukraine back, and he also took Crimea.
Correct.
For them playing like that. So NATO, I don't necessarily agree with, because NATO is another world organization, which basically they just a bunch of fucking thieves and they launder money, and also they're under Israeli rule, which I don't agree with, because Israeli, if you really think of it, the main nucleus of all the problems in the world, it's Israel. Listen, and they need to be wiped off the face of the earth and given back to the Palestinians.
We're not anti-Semites, okay?
No, we're not, because they're not Semites. So therefore, we are not. They are not Semites. The Palestinians are.
We just
okay. You Israelis have blonde. Israelis have blonde hair.
That's
and
a pretty
blue
hard
eyes.
stance.
You were European. Okay. You were Khazarian. Okay, which is now Ukraine. Okay. You guys are not Semites. So therefore, I am not being anti-Semitic. Matter of fact, I look more of a Semite than you do.
Preach it, Pastor.
Hey, Phil, don't listen to Justin, okay?
Israel is not a country; it is a nation state, and you are occupying somebody else's land. It is an occupancy.
It's like what happened is that this is what I don't understand. You need help, right? You were persecuted by Hitler, right? And you needed help. You came over and we say, all right, you know what? Let me find some resident for you. Let me help you out. Come and reside. Now, after that, these guys took over shop. Now, they own the Palestinians.
And AIPAC needs to be registered with
Exactly.
FARA. Why they're not registered with FARA, I have no idea.
Of their own yard. They can't do anything. They can't evacuate these people like this.
Why
they
not
can't do anything
No,
legally.
you think of it. Why they're not registered with FARA? They're supposed to be registered with FARA,
This
Israel.
is crazy.
The Foreign Asian Relations Association, they're supposed to be registered with FARA, and they are not.
I hate when people use, especially Christianity or God, and put them involved when they come with their corruption and their devil ways.
Exactly.
This is crazy. You're talking about, for instance, I am not condoning what Hamas did, right, to them at the end of the day. Yeah. Render evil for evil is not. That's not the game. And that's if they're God's people also, they would have understand this. But at the same time, God don't want you to lay as a rug, right? As a dead mat. No. He wants you also to protect yourself, apply wisdom. 100%. Now, you claim that you know better, right? You go back and you did your mess. You wipe out, you retaliate. You didn't turn the other cheek. You retaliate. You wipe out whatever you need to wipe out. You retaliate. Now, the fact that they carry on this and start putting innocent kids involved, starving these people, when the war could have been finished, but you want, because what you want, and then because they have the U.S. behind them, they have this strong all home where they are, oh, you know what? We're going to do any shit because we got, oh boy, over here backing us. So
and people forget about their nuclear capabilities too that nobody ever brings up. That's the reason why Kennedy got killed.
Which the U.S.
That's the reason why Kennedy got killed, because he was going to start researching the nuclear capabilities of Israel, a nation state which is occupying somebody else's land.
That's some heavy stuff.
Watch them come visit. Watch them come visit. Watch some dude in a suit. Watch some dude in a suit and a Star David medallion come visit me at the shop.
That's what we're saying. Moving forward.
Moving forward.
We gotta protect this man at all costs. Man.
The door soon be knocking on the door soon.
I'm a one-man army.
Oh. The gangster.
No, we got. Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe
you are. It's not a question.
No, but
No, but I'm
one-
biased
no
also
one
too because I'm very much
no one messes
pro-American.
with America.
I think we should all be biased.
I'm very much
Yeah.
pro-American.
That's all we know.
Patriotic.
This is all I know.
We all bias in some point. As much as I'm sitting here and I said I'm not biased in it, there's a little bias in certain things, but it's not extravagant like these guys, like Mr. Trump over here. It's not extravagant.
Nah, I think
right?
it also makes sense to keep. It also makes sense to keep it real and provide perspective. You understand me?
Right.
Yeah.
We just can't be a yes man. Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta take a stance against certain things as well.
So the other kind of, as we said, we're kind of moving forward, shifting a little bit. Now, we know tomorrow is gonna be a big day, right? Tomorrow when
April 2nd.
yes.
Wait, I thought it was April 5th. They were doing some sort of.
This is tomorrow.
This is
Wednesday,
tomorrow.
when the biggest
What's
turf
going
war
on tomorrow?
is about to execute. This is when they're going in effect tomorrow. So at the end of the day, right now you have these nationals, you have these wealthy folks, you have Greenspan, and you have all these big time millionaires and rich guys are predicting that at the end of the day, based on what's happening and moving forward with these things, we are tipping this country into recession. These are these masterminds,
I've seen that.
stockbrokers,
I've seen
stock guys, big time stock
I think
guys.
they're
what you do.
fear mongering.
So, I mean, I don't think so.
They're
Nah,
fear-mongering.
people are very skeptical about the current administration.
They're
You
fear-mongering.
already
The stock
see
market, what
they're
is
already,
going
they're
on?
already, they're already scaling back a lot.
Yeah, they're
let me
fear
explain
mongering. That's
something
fear
to you.
mongering. Remember,
The fluctuation,
Nah,
that
even-
goes
even-
back and forth, like,
but you know what
even
that means, right?
spending-
That means
spending
buy
went down.
now. You buy low, you sell
You
high.
ever heard of market manipulation?
Exactly. That's all
You
it
think
is.
that's what it
I've
is?
heard of- I've heard
You have to use something to bring down the market
Exactly.
to get it at a cheaper price, Guys, let's say all of us invest in the S&P 500, right?
Right.
And we bought at 5, now it's at 10, right? We're not gonna continue buying at 10,
Nah,
It has to come back down.
has to come
right?
down.
Because I'm gonna take profit. I'm gonna say, Angel, take profit. We're gonna put propaganda out there or whatever we need to put out there,
Yeah.
just to bring the market
To
down,
manipulate the market.
right?
And they're
So
going to try to corner something.
when you're selling, we're buying. So they want to bring, and I've seen this over and over and over again. Whatever they have to do to bring the market, during COVID, right? You saw that drop,
correct, yeah.
and the market
And then it
went
skyrocketed
right
right
back
after
up.
that.
So while you were selling, Angel was buying, and made 500,000% return,
Right.
and $500 million. You know how much money that is?
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, yeah.
Buku money.
Yeah. So they want to do it again. So I mean,
I-
never mind
Yeah,
now.
but
I mean,
in the time being, we got to
My knowledge
absorb
is kind of
whatever's
limited
coming.
when it comes to that. I mean, even though I work in the
don't
industry,
believe
but-
everything you hear.
But at the same time, I think that somewhere down the line,
We're seeing it happen
it's-
though.
Huh?
We're seeing
let's
it
say-
happen.
Don't believe everything.
We're
you
seeing
see
the
that-
market tank right now.
But listen,
It's not tanking.
but listen. Of course, it's, the market is
The market
tanking.
is not
Pe-
even down 10%.
consume-
10% is a
put-
correction, and it's not down 10%.
It's buy low.
consumers-
I mean,
It's
all
buy
time
low,
high.
sell high.
Consumers
Last
are
week,
not
what?
buying
Last
right
week
now.
it
They're
was
not
at 3%,
spending.
right?
People want to
Was
hold
climbing.
on to their money
And then
because
it
they
jumped back
believe.
to 1.5%.
You know,
unemployment's
right
going
now.
up.
Yes, boy.
Because people are too busy
But
listening to the
eventually
news.
It's gonna climb. It's gonna climb. I mean, just give it time. It's gonna climb based on what these people are doing. And this is not just only Trump's side. Based on what these
Let me give you an example, right? Don't mean to cut you. Jamie Dimon, you know this story all too well.
yeah.
Bitcoin came from what? Like 65,000 back to like $5,000, right?
And then jumped up to like 105,000.
Meanwhile, Jamie Dimon was telling people not to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a scam. Bitcoin is this. Bitcoin is that.
That's the CEO of Chase, right?
Yeah.
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 JP Morgan Chase, right? And I had Angel. I'm JP Morgan. I have Angel over here buying Bitcoin at 5,000, buying
Yup.
all the Bitcoin. So while you're over there selling, is buying.
They put it on fire sale. He's absolutely right.
There you go.
They play fucking games.
It's nothing different. I mean, remember, Trump is a businessman now. And
Right,
all
right.
Trump friends and associates are
Gonna benefit.
millionaires and billionaires and whatever, right?
Look how much money he made off his Trump coin.
Yo,
And
That was brilliant.
when
That was
this-
brilliant.
Yo, when I think this dude leaves office, at least he's gonna probably worth maybe close to $1 trillion.
Ooh,
Trump.
Jump.
Trump is not even a billionaire, much less.
No,
Yeah,
no.
he
but
just became a
give him
billionaire.
time. He has 4 years, right? As we're talking about his bitcoins, he has 4 years. All this type of foolishness when he's gonna put man started selling Bible, and they still buying it. The man started selling
Sneakers.
I want a pair of those
Yo,
fucking sneakers too.
No, give him
It
time.
was
He
like
has
for
4 years.
fundraiser. It was like a fundraising
Yeah.
thing. To
What?
raise
What
funds
is
for
a
the
fundraiser?
campaign.
What?
It was before he won the election. It wasn't after.
Like Trump sneakers. I think he
Sneakers
only
and
made
all
like
that.
5,000 pairs or
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Yeah, because he want to sell them for like 500 a pop.
And he
because
sold them out. He sold
them
out.
and he's looking to develop manufacture again, while in power. But he can't do that because once you become a president, there's certain business aspect for you can't involve with.
Right. You have to like
Right.
give it to
So and you have to push it off to his two Beavis and
the
Butthead,
kids.
which did
Yo, you have
Nah,
no respect
who's
for
Beavis
the
and Butthead?
his two sons, Erica.
Nah, you forget about Ivanka. Ivanka's pretty smart.
No, that's why I said Beavis and Butthead.
Huh?
She's the only smartest one out of the old.
Don't say that.
Nah,
Don't say
Barron's
that.
pretty
Don't say
smart.
that.
Don't
say
don't knock Barron. Barron's pretty smart. Remember, Barron was the one that was responsible for his whole social. Remember, the reason why he got so big on social media was because of Barron. Barron's not a stupid dude.
Is Barron the youngest kid?
I don't know what you guys.
Nah,
are saying.
Barron was I think he's like the middle one.
No, Byron is the youngest.
Barron's the youngest one, right?
The youngest
How old
one.
is he now?
Listen, guys.
It's like 16.
17.
Yeah, Barron was the one that controlled this whole
listen what I'm
social media
saying.
campaign.
You guys not. That's why I hold. You're not paying attention. I said Beavis and Butthead. I give you the example who Beavis
He's
and
talking
Butthead.
about Eric and the next one.
Exactly.
Eric and Donald Jr.
Yes. Who else you think I'm talking about?
Beavis and Butthead. You're horrible. Why would you call them that?
Because they are Beavis and Butthead. They're
not
two
Beavis
dumb
and
dumbs.
Huh?
The entire society call them the same thing. They even call them worse. Ivanka, brilliant girl. Husband, brilliant guy.
Yeah, but that
some
man is
movie
evil.
movie
Yeah, but see,
make-
you see him?
That's what I'm about to say. Some movie make
He's a Zionist. He looks like the fucking
really
devil,
evil.
Jared Kushner. He's a fucking Zionist. 8-pack fuck.
So movie make is really
Let me tell you,
evil.
him and his
You
father.
walk right into that one.
Him and his father.
Look at Angel. Leave
Yo,
me out
him
of
and
it.
his
Leave me
father?
out of it.
You know him and his father?
About to go home and check my passport.
Yo, him and his father, they hold him and his dad, Jared Kushner and his pops, they have one of the biggest realty firms in the state of New Jersey.
I mean,
Commercial realty, residential, more so commercial, but those the Jared Kushner, the Kushners are dirty people.
well, I don't know how far they are, deep they go, but I mean, they
Deep.
They make some moves. He makes some moves,
Deep.
which
8-pack deep.
it was
I'm on to you.
really good, but at the same time, he's a brilliant guy. I mean, Ivanka and him and
No, Donald Trump kids are brilliant kids, man. They go to good school now, bro. They get good.
isolate
Absolutely.
Beavis and
I mean,
Butthead.
don't
yes.
believe everything you see in the media. Cause you're going off.
You got
based
that
on
off
what
of CNN.
says.
You know, so
yeah.
you know,
That
okay,
sounds like something
Don't do
CNN
that.
would say.
Don't do
Because they have no class or
back me up
decorum.
because you're very knowledgeable, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh-huh.
You know
if
that
I'm not
Trump,
mistaken.
Trump, if I'm not mistaken, it was also a factual because they verified that Trump bought his degrees. You know that?
That Trump bought his degrees.
His degrees.
Everyone pays for their degrees.
No,
Unless
in
they
the
get a-
contents
unless
of
they get
he
a
never
scholarship.
uses
What do you mean bought his degrees?
Okay, so
He paid off
he
whoever
paid
was.
off to get his information. He get his degrees.
Okay.
The school also what he opened up, which they found that it was a fraud.
What are you talking about, Trump University?
Correct, which is all a fraud. They dismantled the Congress dismantled that because they found out that it was a fraud, and he had to pay back $1 million to these individuals.
And he paid it back.
He paid it back eventually, which he put him in debt. Long story short, again, when you use the term his family, all of them are smart. No, I disagree. Yes, I would say Ivanka. I was even Ivanka, her husband, which is not
Jared.
really blood, but yeah, and then the young son,
Barron.
Yes, but Beavis and Butthead, I swear, I mean, these two, I don't know what Trump was doing. Like,
No, but why?
I like Eric and
why do you
Donald.
refer to them as Beavis and Butthead?
Because that's what he heard on CNN.
Because they probably
no,
like.
this is
I
that's
think
No, let him explain. Let him
okay.
explain.
So
there's
when you-
minions.
Look at these two morons, right? At the end of the day, when they go up and
You call Elon a moron, and I think
Yes, he
Elon's
is.
a brilliant guy.
Elon's the
Okay.
smartest man on the planet.
Okay,
Yeah,
so who?
Elon.
And he
He's a
refers to Elon
Smartest
as a
man
moron.
on the planet.
Who's smartest because what? He created 2 ships?
No, he's the smartest man on the planet.
Because he cleared 2 rockets, he's the
Look,
smartest.
let's put it this way.
You know that you
he
have
done did all them drugs, then had all them fucking kids, and still achieved all that, and still achieved all that greatness. That's the smartest man on the fucking planet.
How can I?
How you do? Look at
Got
all the
on the
ketamine.
side
Have you
of
ever
just-
taken ketamine? Have you ever taken ketamine? You can't. For him to take the amount of ketamine that he's taken and still be able to achieve the stuff that he's achieved,
You
that's
know
the
that-
smartest man on the
You know
planet.
that he basically it's just like, for instance, the term I was gonna use. They always have a term and it says every great man is a who behind who.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's use that scenario. As much as I am not debunking Elon intellect and his knowledge,
You are.
he's a great guy when it comes to intellectual, when it comes to business-wise, invention and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Great guy, smart.
Mm-hmm.
Business-wise, on a political level, corrupted, nastiest human being you possibly could face, right?
So he's no different than any other politician
Well, he's like the next level, next stage.
because he's smarter than them.
He's smarter knowing how to more manipulate and more how to circumvent certain situation than the other smart
Yeah.
ass them. Right. So it may be in that context. But if you're looking at it this way, is that the country, US as an example, they have great minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have one mindset that is that extravagant in greatness. You have these
It's a balance.
correlations of people
Yeah.
that come together and make. So the story what I'm bringing to the table is that as much as Elon is smart, he has great minds behind him that makes him look smart. I am not throwing out the window that he's not a smart person individually. He is. But on a level where you classify him that he's the smartest in the world, no, that's bullshit. He has people that works with him that makes him look that way. He's the CEO of all, so of course he's gonna take the
I mean,
credit.
he could have selected foolish people to work with him.
But
Isn't
you have
that
to be smart to select smart people too. Yes.
Okay, so you're
Okay, so he knows how to
But
delegate.
he's smart in a sense. But again, I'm saying that do not elevate him that he is the smartest person in the because he has smart. You know that.
Do
Just
you
like
think Mark Zuckerberg is smart?
yes, he is smart. He's a
Absolutely.
good guy.
Wow.
Look,
Zuckerberg is on a fucking spectrum. He has Asperger's.
And you don't think Elon is smart?
no, I'm not saying again. It's like sometimes let me tell you today. You know, just too much
Zuckerberg
wax
is a
in the
lizard.
ears.
Zuckerberg is a lizard. He's a reptilian. And he has autism.
Too much wax in there.
You know they call him that for real, lizard.
they do. I think I know. I think
He has autism. He's on a spectrum.
All right, so check
And he's a
this out.
lizard.
Check this out, right? Separate and apart from SpaceX and Tesla and what's the next company?
X.
Media X, formerly known as Twitter,
another,
right?
conspiracy.
Mr. Porter said he was going to buy a
You
Tesla.
had a group of guys, right, who refer to themselves as the PayPal Mafia. PayPal Mafia,
Yes.
right? Peter Thiel. You know Peter Thiel, anyone?
That wasn't
The-
that one of the
the
founders
billi-
of PayPal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billionaire guy. All right. So all these guys are doing really, really well where business is concerned. Like they're all billionaires. So it would be a group of guys like us right here at the table.
Right.
And we consider ourselves like really, really smart, right?
Right.
They call themselves PayPal Mafia.
PayPal
so they
Mafia.
sold PayPal, split the money up, and everyone went their separate ways and invest, right? And everyone is doing really, really well. They're billionaires, right? All right. And you're telling me that Elon is not smart. He only had smart people around. Let me tell you who I don't think was really smart, but smart at the same time. Ford. What's his name?
Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford,
Yeah.
right? Gerald Ford did not know how to read.
That's known.
Okay. But to pick smart people or select
Yeah,
smart
he knows how
people.
to delegate properly.
There you go. Delegate.
But
Delegating his word.
for him to be able to do that, almost at the level of illiteracy,
But
right?
anyone
But for him to be able to do that, you don't think you have some type of basic.
No, Elon is a genius, bro. Seriously.
And again,
Yeah,
I'm
he
not,
is.
I am
I agree.
not, but you never hear me sit and dispute
For you to
that.
call Elon moron,
And I explained to you why I call him more, not
mind-blowing.
from an intellectual level,
On what level?
on a more political level. That's what I said that the second time. This is the third time I'm saying
So
it.
what did he do?
Not from an
What did he
intellect-
do that was
The
so wrong?
foolishness what he's doing where Trump released him as
What,
his,
Doge?
as his good,
Doge?
not just only Doge, but basically, for instance,
I like
here's the
Doge.
other thing. Here's
I
the
like
other thing
Doge.
what he did. When he bought out Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twitter has a structure where we need, and Facebook started doing this foolishness too, and a lot of these companies are doing this foolishness now.
Free
They
speech?
they used to have this thing where they fact check you and making sure that propaganda doesn't spread over the internet. That
Yeah,
you
that
and I
fact checking
are
was
being-
bullshit.
You and I don't breathe.
Fuck them fact checkers.
Say it again.
Fuck them fact checkers.
No,
you know what a fact
because-
checker is? They check your facts when you're telling the fucking truth. How do I know that? Because I had an Instagram account for 9 years. Why is it that when I start posting the truth or posting my opinion, all of a sudden my fucking Instagram was getting disabled every fucking 6 months? That fucking fact check is fucking bullshit.
I don't know about that. I can't tell you really that. For the fact that is that Twitter was open.
You know
and
what
Twitter,
that is,
Twitter,
right, Angel?
What
That
happened?
fucking fact checking is leftist propaganda
You
is
wanna say something,
bullshit.
Angel?
It's when you
No,
say
but I
something that you're not supposed. They don't think you're supposed to say that, then they
Yeah.
censor you.
They try to censor
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
Well, and then that's debunk the freedom of speech.
Right,
See,
so-
this country live in a
No,
in a
focus.
dual-
Stay on Twitter, right? And Elon. Go ahead, explain.
God.
focus on what?
Elon and Twitter.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
what he
so-
did to the platform that you disagree
So
with.
when he came with he bought out the platform. And one of the things, as soon as he bought out the platform, immediately he removed the fact check, right? So
Yes.
he's-
Brilliant.
He's trying
Brilliant.
to bring back. He's trying to bring back the freedom
Free
of speech.
speech.
Free
Which is
speech.
great. Which
Exactly.
is great because at the
That's
same
our
time,
Second Amendment. Well,
but
that's
at the
what is
same
that? First
time,
Amendment.
At the same time, you want a structure in place that hey, people can't just come and talk all type of friggery.
Why not? That's free
Why
speech.
not?
It's free speech, but again, if I sit there and I comment, like I come on the show and I say, you know what, Russia over there, scouting babies.
You know what's
Right?
so funny? You don't say Russia over there is counting babies, but you do come and
Do what?
express whatever you feel or you think or you believe.
No,
On
I
the
will
platform.
share. I will share with
And
you.
it's not fact.
Why? Show me. Bring something to me. What is not facts? What I share on the platform.
Saying China have what you call it?
More
The nuclear
artillery.
fusion technology, and they're the only one with it. That's false.
How is that false?
I just showed Angel. You want me to show you too?
How is that false?
There's different
Because-
countries that have that technology.
Yeah, different
besides
countries
that.
have.
So I may not be aware that now
So
other countries,
it's
but here's the
fake
thing.
news. All right?
How
Yes,
is fake news?
because it's not true.
Why? So you rather have people be censored?
No, definitely.
No, what
not.
what I would like is a structure where is that we have freedom of speech. Great. At the same time, you don't want people because one of the things with me when I was younger, I used to run with foolishness, and this is what got me in trouble.
Use what?
Run with foolishness. You say something, and I'm gone with the wind, and I started spreading like Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Until I started embarrass myself, where I go and people and like good people, around my story, which I thank them for. And as I grew up, they're like, Mike,
And you learn your lesson,
where
right?
do you get that foolishness from?
But you learn your
And I'm
lesson.
like, what are you talking about? It's so and so
I
and so
think
and
you
so.
still do it
And
though.
I hear it.
But you learn your lesson, right?
Nah, you didn't.
But you learn your
anything.
lesson.
He said, I still do
See
it.
what it is. I'm all for freedom of speech, even if it's misinformation, because it's up to the person to actually believe them. That's where your discernment comes
There
in.
you
That's
go.
where your
Yo,
you
you
know,
don't have
I
kids
don't-
on Twitter, You have
What?
grown people on Twitter.
Yeah, but are the
this is
grown
not like
people
Instagram
already
where
just like what I share with you.
people
as
are
yeah,
posting
Instagram is
photos.
bullshit. Can you believe
Yeah.
Instagram is still fucking fact checking me? I thought they stopped the
Which they
shit. They're still
should.
fucking fact checking
Hey
me.
Mark,
pieces of
I
shit.
like you, man.
You said, dude, look what I did. Okay, you
I don't
remember
like
our
you,
show?
Mark. You're a fucking
You remember our
lizard.
show? You remember
And I
our
know
show?
where you live at. You're from Ardsley.
You remember our game show, right? Angel was on it.
Right.
Case in point, there was some slight errors inside of, and what I did, I fact check it.
You did.
Exactly. my
Almost
point.
instantly. Almost
So
instantly.
instead of allowing the rumors and wrong information to spread, I fact check it.
Fact checking is communist
Like
behavior,
Justice
sir.
said, though, like Justice said, at this point, we able to discern.
Yeah, you got to use
Our own-
discernment. I'm
Right,
like,
but that's the point. What I'm saying, that's the structure. What we need. Yes, we need the freedom, but it has to be a balance. It has to be a balance where yes, you have the freedom of speech, but also you can't just allow people to rampage on what they just believe in, and there's no evidence.
Freedom of speech.
let them. That's natural selection. They're all going to cancel themselves out.
Mike, listen.
I don't know, man.
You have to use common sense, you know.
Yeah.
And with everything that you do and anything that you do, you have to use common sense. If I'm a carpenter, right, and I know nothing about like banking, and I come to you and I say, oh, this is how you do banking, and this is how you invest your money, and I'm a carpenter. The only thing I know is carpentry. Don't know nothing else about
Those nails and hammers.
You're not supposed to take advice from me about banking, you know. You're supposed to take advice from a banker about banking.
You know, I approached you with the same situation, a personal situation before. Go ahead, you finish?
Yeah? So when you go on Twitter, right, and someone is saying, oh, Elon is racist and Elon is this and Elon is doing the what they call it?
Oh, the hell Hitler.
The whole Hitler.
That was hilarious.
But he did it.
Yeah?
Right?
No, he didn't. All he did was salute him.
He did this.
All he did was salute him.
Yeah.
Now, if he went like this, he went, Achtung, then that's a different story. He didn't do that.
You're not supposed to believe it. You're supposed to.
I think you're supposed to do your research and compare it.
No,
So you draw your own conclusion.
Yeah, you have to use common sense. So.
Something sticky
No.
right now, you draw back.
We also have to verify.
No, it's
validate-
just funny to
validate
me
stuff.
how people just run with every and anything. But you are able.
But it's
to-
conjunction.
'cause you can't be wrong in your opinion, you know. Your opinion is your opinion. Because if I believe that shirt's been red all morning and it's red, what color do you see?
I would see blue, but you see red.
How do you know I don't see red?
I can't tell you what you see. You can't see.
So am I wrong or am I right?
We don't know.
You're wrong.
Well, what I'm seeing
You're
is
absolutely
blue.
You could be right, but the only reason
Absolutely.
you're right and you see red and it's blue, that's because you're a lizard like Mark Zuckerberg.
No, because the consensus is that
Or medically
it's-
have some
it's a
medical
blue.
issues.
right,
could be going
There you
blind.
go.
Yeah, the medical issue is that he's a reptile.
right. But in reality, doesn't change the color of the shirt.
Like I said, you have some people, you know, like in winter, their body, like the natural polarity of their body is reversed. In
Yeah.
winter, they're hot. And in
Summertime,
they're
they're cold. Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
So if you were supposed to be walking around in the middle of summer, you know, winter jacket, saying you're cold, what you think Angel would think?
Crazy.
Or say, you're crazy. But he doesn't understand your medical condition.
Hey, that's why.
That's not a medical. If you're cold in the summertime, that means you're a reptile. You're a lizard.
No, you mean that
Right.
you're anorexic.
Yeah,
That's basically it.
You're a
probably,
reptilian.
and I think recently
It means
too,
you're
like,
reptilian. You're a reptile.
I don't want to digress too much. But I think a lot of times people argue with other people. Most of the time, you're not arguing with an individual. You're arguing with a condition. So it's
I
for
agree.
us to be able to decipher that, whether or not somebody's off the hinges or whether or not they're stable.
Who wins an argument?
All I know, if I had the money and
Who wins
intellect,
an argument, right?
No one.
If
Right.
you win an argument with facts, where facts or who
Yeah, but
determine
my
what is
belief
facts?
is my belief. It doesn't matter what you say.
yeah,
no.
nobody really wins an
again,
argument.
Again, let's as an example, let's eliminate any sickness, right? Any medical issues. The sky at this point in time is what?
It's white.
The sky, no.
It's blue.
Right now, it's dark,
Which is isolated into what color?
black.
Okay. So now you come and tell me otherwise that the sky is white.
But what if black is really white and white is really black?
He's actually right because actually that's black actually means pale. So the correct terminology we're looking for right now
I think
would be obsidian.
I think we-
Siding with-
I think
I'm not siding
Nah,
with him.
I think we're digressing right now. We're veering off course right now. We're veering off.
All I
course.
know is if I had the money and intellect to Elon, I'd be the new Genghis Khan.
Okay, so we know.
You know what
we
they call it?
visually can
You know what
see
they call
this,
that?
is white,
What?
right?
Somebody who overglorified themselves and overglorified the whole power.
They call him
Like-
Justin. That's what they call him. They call him King Tox.
A megalomaniac.
Let me ask.
Exactly. Megalomaniac. You know who's a
I bet you'll never
megalomaniac?
get-
Santa Claus.
I don't want you to embrace that though.
All I know- I bet you'll never get this. But Angel,
What is that? What's that?
Well,
am I black or am I white?
You're black or you're white? the texture of your skin is brown. Your culture is black.
Am I black or am I white?
Your texture of your skin is brown.
Am I Michael black or am I?
He's Jamaican.
Black, unequivocally black.
No, he's not black. Black is a status, which means death. White is a status, which means of nobility. He is Jamaican.
In the society.
Again, that's what I use the term. Your culture is black.
No, his culture is Jamaican.
Which is what?
Not black, because black is a status.
I asked you a completely different
this is
question
black.
from what I asked him. You know.
This is black.
You know.
Right. But
This is black.
That's why they identify.
No, the culture is not black.
So
There is no such thing as black culture. Black means
Okay.
death.
So what is your answer then, Professor?
Let Mr. Khalees answer.
Mr. Khalees. Mr. Prime Minister. My apologies. Mr. Prime Minister.
Appreciate you. It's white, actually. He was referring to his last name.
Yes, white.
That's a good one.
You gotta
White
have that
with a
go
Y.
over- You gotta have that go over your head just now.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I give that one to you.
Now you high gear just now. Like, okay.
Actually, if you think of it, I think what's the case? I think all of us,
I'm
right?
pretty smooth.
I saw
give
this
that one
video. We're all, you know what we are? We're all different shades of wheat. If you look at a wheat chart, the different colors of wheat, we're actually just all different shades of wheat.
I mean, I can follow that philosophy because, I mean, look, I'm a lower.
Yeah.
You look at, I'm a lower
Yeah.
shade than you.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you remove and tamper with my pigments, I can look like him,
Say again?
right? If
Yes.
I tamper on with my pigments,
We remove your melanin.
I remove my melanin in that.
Right.
In,
Which you
in
can't
essence,
because that's
same
the most
thing.
valuable resource on the planet.
Right.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
But
That's a
at the
fact.
end of the
It
day,
is.
if I do that, if I have the capability of do that, I would look like him, or he can look like me.
Yeah, you Sammy Sosa yourself.
Ouch.
That's what he did.
Uh-oh, shots fired.
Shots fired.
See, everybody tells me because what it is, everybody knows I don't like going in the sun. I don't like getting dark. But see, I said I don't have to make myself light. I already am. I just don't like getting dark.
Right.
I do a lot of I do a lot of unsavory shit. So me looking the way I look, I don't get profiled.
You official?
Yeah, people like that's fucked up. I said that's life.
APAC Israeli.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can never be wrong in your opinion, you know, and your belief.
Yeah.
No, it's true. You don't
Yeah,
win
you're
an
right.
argument.
He's
That's the
still-
reason why I don't debate.
I mean, you could be on your own.
That's the reason I don't debate with people, you know. I mean, if you said to me the shirt is green, I would say, yeah, it is green.
Yeah,
Because I see blue, right?
But again,
But if you see green, I don't know.
I'm from Belize, and people tell me like to my face, Belize is an island. I said, no, it's not an island. You could actually drive from here to Belize on the road. No, Belize is an island, man.
It's not an island.
No, it's not an island.
Jamaica's an island.
You know what I mean? But
Jamaica's definitely an
are,
island.
Bahamas is
are
an
they
island.
are they right?
Wait, are three sides? Let me
Are,
ask-
are they right? Because
Wait, with Belize, is
They
it is
believe-
it surrounded by three sides of water?
Yeah.
Three sides of it surrounded by water?
yes,
Yes.
So Belize is a peninsula.
absolutely. That's
Okay.
exactly what it is.
There you go.
So
you don't
but-
debate with them, right? You just let them be.
No, but you still have to correct. It's not debate.
at a certain point, no, it's-
You can
Arguing in
educate them.
vain.
You can, because sometimes it's ignorance, right?
it is.
It
ignorance.
comes down
so
to
it's
ignorance.
it's the same thing with
I wouldn't.
Twitter.
I wouldn't stand here arguing with you about Jamaicans.
Huh?
I wouldn't stand here arguing with you about Jamaicans. Or
You said you
Jamaicans.
won't stand.
I wouldn't.
Why?
'Cause
He's not Jamaican.
That's where you from.
Yeah, but you okay. So what you're defining is that because I'm a Jamaican, I should know more than you. No,
Yes,
that's not the
yes,
case.
Yes, it should be.
It should be, but that's not the case. If I'm in a country, if I'm in an island, right, and I grew up in that island, particularly Jamaica,
Yeah.
right, automatically people would assume, because people come and ask me question about Jamaica, and I was like, huh? Hold on a second. And they say, okay, you didn't have to do search.
I bet if they ask you anything about China, you would know, though.
Right away. Right away. Because
You know
actually,
about their technology. You know about their
Right,
economy.
like-
Just like how you dwell here in the US.
I live here.
You should have born here.
No, I live here.
No, you should have
So
been- you
Jamaica
should
is the
have
best place.
natural-
Oh, yes, it.
like,
Jamaica.
like, and you're
Yeah, I would
absolutely
change
right.
my
I was in
childhood
Belize.
for
I
nothing.
lived in Belize for 22 years. Like,
Uh,
after 22 years, my son came to me 5 years old. He told me that Belize's flag has the most color out of any other flags in the world. I asked Alexa. Alexa verified it. I was like, yo.
Alexa put you in a place, right?
So that's
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
we don't want to be
I don't
presumptuous
want-
either, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a slang I wouldn't say a slang. How you would call it? Keep words I'm looking for. Where I said, do not argue with a fool because people may not know the difference.
That's a proverb.
That's what I'm trying to
That's
say
a
to you.
proverb.
Right. So, but at the same time, you do not want to leave people in ignorance. If I have the
How do
capability,
you know that you're not the one who's ignorant?
That's a good question.
the question is good. However, if I am,
Right.
like for instance,
Because
for
it's
me,
all information, So you have true information, you have false information,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
So you may have false information.
I
It
may have
not
false-
be as complicated
but in-
as you think it is.
In the fact that I operate, let me be more personal. How I operate,
Yeah.
based on my failures in the past, where I used to run with all type of shit
Mm-hmm.
and be embarrassing myself. Now, what I do, they have a saying which I also use: trust but verify. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what I do is I do my diligence. I hear you something. And if I don't already aware that it's a factual thing, I do my cross-reference and diligence and stuff like that to either say, okay,
Yeah, but you're looking
what,
at
Tom Joe is
you're
right,
going
or-
to the internet or you're going to a book and to get information
and
to
yes,
verify something.
Yes, where
It's
else we can be
different.
verified?
Right. How do you know that God is real?
I trust and I believe. I can feel it.
You go into our intuition, right?
How do you
Yes.
know God is real?
I know God is real based on evidence what we see out there, such as we see man trying to mimic human beings. We know that man can produce. We haven't seen all these 2,000 years. Man cannot produce
Can you
dirt.
sum it up for me, please?
Man cannot produce dirt. Man cannot
Cannot
raise
produce
the dead.
dirt.
What?
You say man cannot produce dirt.
Man cannot produce dirt. Man create the dirt. There was a let me go get a little comedian with this. There was man and God says, "Oh, you know what?" Man said to God, "You know what? I can't do anything, or whatever the case may be, or whatever it is." God said, "All right, I can make dirt." And God said, "Go ahead. Don't touch my dirt, though. Go and make your own dirt."
No, we're not talking
But
about
I'm
no
saying we're going to be a little.
How
bit
do you
good.
know God is real?
But God is real.
You
based
saw
on-
he summed it up real fast. How do you
But
know
I
that?
said it
Go
before.
ahead.
I said by his intuition. I said by nature. You look out by nature. You look out by nature, because I about the dirt. So you look by all these things. You have nature. You have your intuition. God put an intuition in every single one of us when He created us, right? To have that void.
I think we just created ourselves. We're able to
right.
have
Every one of us.
discourse and
Some
stuff
of us
like that.
decide to debunk that within our arm, but it still can't, because we know for a
I
fact.
don't want you to. I just want to know
But I already told you.
because of dirt.
I didn't say because of that.
Why?
I said nature.
Because of nature.
I
Right.
swear.
Thank you. Justin, do you believe God is real?
Do I believe God is real?
Yeah. And when I say
Um,
God, what am I referring to? Which God do you believe in?
Okay, so that's a good question.
Supreme being.
I'm talking about the
The
supreme
cre-
being.
the creator of
The
heaven
supreme
and
being
earth.
that created heaven and earth.
Yeah.
Heaven
Intelligent
and earth.
The
design.
majesty, the king. of all
Intelligent
kings.
design.
So where's heaven? Above or
We
below?
have three types of heaven. In the sky, that's to consider heaven biblically. The heaven, what you probably referring to, and what we specifically, what I would be talking about, is the heaven where God dwells. That's above the three heavens, right? Biblically. You should know, because
So when you say it's above the three heavens, it's
we have
above.
we have the sky where we can float in. That's considered as heaven.
We have the sky, we have the firmament,
have
and then
the
I guess they're
firmament.
above the firmament.
Right. And then we have the above the firmament, which is where God's dwell.
I'm listening. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
Right?
I'm listening.
So
I'm like, don't let Justin manipulate you.
What you mean? There really is a firmament. Y'all laughing at me. All like, oh shit, Justin was right. There really is a
I
firmament.
think it's a joke.
No, we're
There
listening,
really
we're
is a
listening.
firmament.
I don't know.
So that's where God dwells, you say, right?
Right.
All
Right.
So, all right.
I'm not
Justin,
talking about the
listen,
firmament. I'm
listen.
talking about the above the
So
firmament.
like God,
That's where dwells.
so like God has a 3-story. Okay.
So
Yes,
wait,
sir.
you claim that you are part of the Christian industry, right? So
Yeah,
where do you
100%.
believe God dwells?
And up above
Above where?
in heaven,
And where is heaven?
past space.
And space also considered part of heaven, right? Again, there's levels.
This is space. Now. This is space, right?
Nah, I believe is he.
This is space.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about this is
This
space.
is not space. This is earth.
This is earth you're on. What
I
you talking
believe-
about?
I
He's
believe
talking
that-
about the environment.
I
where-
believe-
this
I
is a
be-
space where we put things in. This is not the space.
So
of
God's in the
context
universe. That's what you're
of-
saying. He's in the
Right,
universe.
right.
That's what I'm
100%.
saying.
You're saying he's in the universe.
Right.
Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. I believe he's in all of us.
Yes, I agree.
He's within us. But then also the devil's also in us. That comes down to free will.
No, I don't. The devil is not.
I
in us.
agree with Justin.
Yeah, it
The
comes
devil
down to
is
free
not-
will.
the
They say
devil is
different
not-
beliefs.
How do you know God?
Remember,
doesn't-
we
how do
all
you know-
have
how do
we
you know
all
God-
have moral compasses.
how do
We
you-
all know what's right. We all
How
know
do you
what's
know
wrong.
God doesn't switch up to teach us a lesson, and it might be the same person?
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's true
Elaborate,
too. You're absolutely
elaborate.
right.
No,
You're
this is
absolutely right.
interesting. Elaborate.
God might be what they refer to as devil. And devil might be what they refer to
Yeah.
as God.
He's absolutely right.
Depends on what he has to
Some
take care
people
of.
would call God the devil because they don't believe in him. Yes.
But that's not what he's.
No, he's not
referring
saying
to.
that. It
So
could
what
be.
you're saying then?
Depending on the situation, how he's gonna handle
Yeah,
it.
it's all one entity, different sides of the spectrum.
So
things
you
like
would
know,
say
that.
a balance,
because
night
you
and
saying
day.
because certain
Right.
Yin and the yang.
certain things may happen to me on a negative level, then I would use the term that God is evil, right? Is it that I'm trying to translate between my nognum, well, not my nognum, my brain itself. I'm trying to translate based on the understanding what I'm having. You're saying that if there's certain like this should accidentally fall on my head,
Basically,
Something good or something favorable, we're gonna say it's from God.
what's he saying is that
but
he's
God allow evil to take place too.
Yeah.
That's the call.
It might be from the same. It might be from the
freedom
same,
of speech.
and it might be from the
But
same
it doesn't
person.
mean that he generates evil. He allow it to happen. There's nothing under me moving this. God has to allow
That
it.
might be his actions.
Right?
It might be the same.
Me
person's
just
action.
sitting here and taking up this water and drinking. God has to allow it.
I think what he's
That
trying to
might be the
convey is
same
that God
person's
is God
action.
is not definitive, so you really can't
Right.
define it. You really
Yeah,
can't.
you can't. You can't. You can't. I agree.
He's not
Now
definitive.
you're coming a little
But
bit.
you
on
are
things.
trying
It might be
to.
the
What?
same.
You
No,
are
I am.
trying
I'm telling you based on my limitation of I can. If I have you have a relationship with your wife, you right? You can tell a certain things because you live with your wife and you see her habits and habitual behavior.
Yeah.
You can tell to a certain extent who is your wife, right? If somebody come and say,
Yeah.
Mike, what is your wife? What she like? You say, well, she like green, she like black, she's a vegetarian. You can define her. So having a relationship with God, I don't mean that I can tell you his whole character, but I can tell you, well, God won't do this, God will do that because of such and such, because of my relationship with him,
Yeah.
right? And then that goes for everyone. Just like how you can define your wife to a certain extent. You cannot tell that your wife is this overall, but you can identify some characteristics about her. And you know, she like green glass, she like green apples, she like grapes, and she like sleeping in the winter or long in the winter. So you can identify because you have that relationship, that long-term relationship with him, with her. Same thing with me and God. I have a relationship with him, so I know.
Which is just a figment.
I know some of his characteristics. Can I tell you who he completely is? No, it's impossible.
Yeah, but you
that
gonna
won't make him a God.
that's a figment of the imagination, though.
What?
Like saying definitively, like you know who God is, you got a relationship with him. That's all perception.
How is it perception? I mean, again, I just use the same. How is it?
Physically, we ain't never seen
Yeah,
God
we don't know what it looks
in
like.
person.
If God is in you, what you need to see him for? It's just like when they ask in biblically again.
No, but you
we
don't believe that. You know, you didn't say
What?
that.
What?
You stated that God lives where? In the universe?
Yeah.
Above the universe.
No,
and above
physically.
Above the firmament.
Physically, God dwells physically, just like how you and I sitting here. God dwells in an environment above, sitting
You
literally
know, most people say this is heaven.
You
right?
think?
No, check this out.
Right.
Say, this is heaven.
in
right?
our minds.
Right.
You know, man. You know what I believe?
And
I
your
lo-
lower organs, the lowest organ, which is that?
The lowest organ.
Yeah. That's L.
The
like
malanga.
for me, the same way I believe in God, the same way
the dangling torch.
right, the same way I believe in God, the same way I believe in my brother. Like I lost my brother in 1999. Like
Sorry
you know
for
what I
your
mean?
loss.
Yeah.
man.
Sorry for
Appreciate
your
you.
loss, man.
And I always think like he's always with me. He's always walking with me and allowing me to be functional.
Like
Like
your brother.
yeah, like in my mind, I believe that you know what I mean. I could vibe with him and listen. To
So
him.
you would believe that's your brother govern that type of a guidance.
Yeah, I believe he's with God. So God is whoever we, I think, perceive him to be.
He can be what you want him to be, but theoretically or literally, God is not where we look on characteristics. I mean, this complication. This conversation is not simply. It's a very complex.
Yeah, it
conversation.
is.
It is not something that you and I can write in
Yeah,
one
nah,
day.
it's-
If we could, then God would not deserve to be God,
Exactly.
right? So it's not something where I can
That's
sit there.
deep.
I
That's
can tell
deep
you.
stuff.
I
It's
can
actually
sit here-
Yahweh or Yeshua.
I could sit here and analyze for the next.
It's not God. It's either Yahweh or
still
Yeshua.
can't give
the
you
actual name.
quarter, not even quarter, 0.01% of explaining who
Not
God
even
is.
point
Yeah,
zero one.
I think
Point 0.0000.
But I think we have a more favorable or more nicer perception, belief, or understanding of who God is based on our upbringing. Like we weren't tortured and turmoiled and all that stuff. Like we never went through that. So we might look at God as a more favorable person. The other
If
person,
you were born in the Gaza now, that's something different.
Right.
You
Yeah.
would
You know
have
what I
like a
mean?
different mindset and different belief.
right? It's just different.
But and you're looking at it that way, and you like how you brought that up, Mike. But you're looking at it that way. That we bring this topic into context is that the religious structure, what was propagated right over the world. Where you think it was coming from Asia side from Africa, Europe side over there.
Yeah.
Not over these sides.
Yo, please don't slap King Tux in the face.
No.
Because I'm not.
No, you're right. It came from
Exactly.
it came from the east. I know what you mean.
Of course, to your question, of course, I mean these guys.
We don't share the same belief, Mike. You know that.
I know. And the funniest thing, he was a big time pastor too.
Who?
Him.
Really?
Donald Trump.
I wasn't a big time pastor.
No, well,
I
he
believe
was a
in
heavy
the same
Christian,
thing
put it
that
there.
you believe in.
Yeah, big time Christian. I mean, walking with the Bible about this big.
Nice.
I know
Like-
about that. No,
Oh, so you know your stuff.
I'm just joking.
So check this out, right? So most people who say they're Christians, right? They go to church and whatever the pastor say, or the spiritual leader, that's what they take and they run with it.
Yeah.
No, he's reading from a book. I have the same book. I'm gonna read from the book, and then I'm gonna have my interpretation,
Yeah.
right? So when I read the Bible, because I actually read the entire Bible.
You know, I've never read the Bible.
You
And they
should.
said that every time you read it, if you read it 12 times, you're going to get 12
from
different meanings out of it.
Right. So
I'm
I
actually
would
scared
go
to read the
pastor
Bible.
And I said to the pastor,
I'm gonna address that when we're done.
I would say to the pastor, so and so pastor, the Bible say this. What does that mean? Because I even went to Val one of the time, right? And I said, Val, it said woman should not be.
You went
like,
to Minister,
preaching in
Good
church.
Sister Minister Jackson?
Women should not be like preaching in church and stuff like that.
And what did the Good
And
Sister
I
Minister
showed,
Jackson
I
say?
showed that to her in the Bible, and she said she never saw that before. She's gonna have to
Evaluate it.
Do a fact
No,
check.
and this is no. This is Boss Lady, and she's an ordained minister, like
And she knows
Good
her
Sister
stuff.
Minister
She
Jackson.
knows her stuff too.
Look,
Yeah,
based
she
on
does.
Based on my knowledge, I grew up in a Christian home. Where I'm at right now is not where I want to be pertaining to relationship with God, but at the same time, there's some knowledge I have obtained over the years. Now, along with Mike, Mike used to be, and based on the situation that happened, he lost doubts. Would I fear to say that?
No, I mean I just don't share the same belief as you do. Like you know what's so funny? I'm glad you didn't say the Bible when I asked you, how do you know that God is real? You said nature, right? And you don't need the Bible to tell you, say, oh, God was real. You look at the sun, the moon, you look at day, night.
The Bible is a guide.
Oh, everything has
It's
a
a guide.
function so
Just-
perfectly.
Right.
Look, a man and woman.
Right. You see what I'm
Bible
saying?
is a guide, right? You get a man, you get up, you bought a car, right? And the manual is there to guide you how to operate the car.
I don't.
The
believe
Bible
that.
gives you guidelines of certain things what you do and certain things how you move your life.
It's the basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Well,
That's what it stands
that's
for.
what
That's
that's
what it
what they
stands
stand. That's what they call it. That's what it stands for, right?
That's
I mean,
why I'm scared to leave it, because that's why I'm scared to read it, because I'm not leaving Earth.
I think that's a myth. To be honest with you, I don't have an answer to say. Well, this is what the Bible means.
No, that's what Killer Priest said on his album in
But-
1997,
but
Heavy Mental, the
that's
basic
what-
instructions before leaving Earth.
That's what they have out there. That's what the Bible means. But I mean, at the same time, as I said, it's just the thing is, I kind of lost train of thought
I
for a
think
second.
I'm a better person now versus when I was a Christian.
I was getting back
What
to you.
was different?
Hmm?
What's different?
Because if you didn't share the same belief as me, we would just not get along.
So you were judgmental.
You were
I
ignorant.
mean,
Everyone is
No,
ignorant.
he's
Both.
judgmental. He wasn't
Everyone
ignorant. He was
is ignorant.
judgmental.
Every single one of us is ignorant.
Yeah, what you saying?
Everyone.
Ignorant of something, yes.
Oh,
Not
I'm downright
knowing.
Yes.
ignorant.
I mean, that's
I
what
love being
ignorance is
ignorant.
for.
I'm
Ignorance,
ignorant. I
you're
ain't
absent
ignorant.
from
I'm
knowledge.
ignorant.
So if you don't know something, you're ignorant. People always mix
So
up
arrogant.
ignorant and arrogance.
Yeah.
That is
Right.
two different things.
So if somebody doesn't share the same beliefs as you, you know what I mean, and that's enough grounds for you to dismiss them, then that's arrogance.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't apply the word arrogance still. I would still apply ignorance because you don't know what the belief of this person
No, the
is.
arrogance would be if you don't agree with their beliefs, and because you don't agree with their beliefs, that you feel you're better than them.
Right.
That's when
Or
it's
your
arrogance.
religion is the one.
I could not-
nobody else.
I could be ignorant because I don't agree with somebody's beliefs. I don't necessarily think I'm better than them. I'm like, I think I'm better than everybody anyway, but you know. That's my flaw.
You know,
No, that's a good thing.
talking about God, I think we just perpetuating or furthering our understanding of it, because my sons wholeheartedly believe that God exists. There's a God.
It does
and-
exist.
Yeah,
There's no
you know
doubt
what I
it
about
mean?
definitely
that.
exists.
But they
Believe Santa exists too?
Santa is a joke. That's
Not
not.
like
and this
that.
is
He
you see,
doesn't believe
this is
that?
where the fact check comes in
I told him
because
that.
that's bullshit.
I told him that.
For years, did you teach your son about Santa? That somebody, some fat guy, gonna come through the chimney and give them gifts and watching them for years?
You don't talk about Santa.
That's you.
Basic instruction before leaving.
You don't talk about Santa Claus.
Oh, man. Well, people, we come to the end of our road. It was very
Real
intriguing.
comedic guy.
It was very intriguing. And we thank you for joining us. And we're just gonna wrap up. We can go along and along and along. But
Yes,
if
we
you
kind of went into a religious tangent.
yeah, if you want to chime in, feel free. Again, once we post this, you will see it. And for those who subscribe, so please share it, spread the word that this can get out there and people can recognize and help us to grow this channel and help us to spread the good news and help us to fact check.
Don't. Fact checking is for the weak. Fact checking is propaganda, communist, leftist nonsense.
So thank you for helping us down. But without before we close off, I would like to ask you as usual, what is your final thought based on what is happening? I mean, the things what we're trying to wrap, we had touched on. We're touching on the what's coming tomorrow, which is the tariff wars that's going to go in effect. We've seen that the Trump administration is trying to take over Iceland, so forth, and then we see how the economy based on that is tipping back and forth. According to Mike, he said that's some type of a manipulation. I wouldn't say yay or nay. I don't know. I'm ignorant to that. But overall, what is your final thoughts?
So my
on
final
this?
thought on the tariff was that's more fear mongering as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the tariff wars is something that we have to worry about. If we do have to worry about it, we're going to come out on top because, like me and Mike always agree on, we are the biggest consumers in the world. As far as the Trump administration, I'm still very much pro-Trump. I'm still very much a Democrat for MAGA. Like I am contentious with the fact that he doesn't put his foot up Israel's ass. I make that very clear. But other than that, I am optimistic.
It coming, boy.
I am optimistic, and I also believe that the United States is still very much a world power, but we are not a world superpower. We're a regional superpower, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think I truly believe it. The United States has gotten to the point that we need to isolate ourselves and basically just worry about us and not worry about anybody else.
Good thought. Angel?
Solid. I think most importantly for me is just staying abreast of what's going on in the world. Like, don't get
Do some
Call.
fact checks in.
right. I mean, don't lay up. Stay prayed up, 100%. Just
Bless,
make
bless.
sure.
And you got an iced out bezel on too.
bless, 100%. Put the lights on.
Put the lights on. Put the lights on. Put the lights on.
Let it do what it do.
Oh man, Mike.
Stay up.
Your final thoughts?
I don't see what people are worried about though. I think as Justin just said, focus on America, and that's what the president is doing. He did say his slogan is what? Make America great
Make
again.
America
Yes.
Yeah,
Make
so
America great again.
That's
America's
his
already
focus.
great. We here.
Yeah.
You started from the
That
bottom?
too.
No, we here. No, we're being
Why?
shambles right now.
And Mr. Porter is buying an all red Tesla. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. He's getting an all red Tesla. The license plate will say the license plate will say MAGA Porter.
He gonna see it as blue.
I was about
Everything
to
is
say,
good. The
I
sky's
was,
not falling.
I was about to say, I know my mom dead grave, but she already passed. Rest her soul. But never.
Yeah, everything will be good. Just
Yeah.
focus on you. Hey,
Yeah.
no politician is gonna make your life better.
No.
I like Trump, right? And I like this administration.
You don't
And
depend
I
on him for
understand
your
what they're
happiness.
doing, but there's only gonna be change within your life when you make that change. No politician is gonna make that happen. Not Elon, not Trump, not Kamala. Nobody likes Kamala.
She's a whore. She's a whore and she's not Jamaican.
Yeah. So you have to make that change. And don't listen to this guy
Make
over
sure you
here.
keep a
Always
strong mind. Stay
fear
focused.
mongering, telling you about the sky is falling, prices going up, and all type of nonsense.
I went to this
man.
moment and I show him. I text him and showing the grocery 4 bags in my which was yesterday.
How much?
4 bags. I said, Mike,
4 bags is a lot.
$300.
I'm gonna send you the image. You should see what's in the bag. The bag is like almost fall over.
I
Just
buy
because
4 items and it costs the same amount.
because of the stuff what's in the bag. Almost nothing, right? I said him, he's like, 125. He hit it right on the head, nail on the head. Remember
Really?
the conversation we had earlier on where I said price went up. I think Angel was here.
Yeah.
And we said these are the evidence what we realized that inflation and this guy is not helping out. And he's somewhat in denial that this is not happening. I went and I said, the things what I spend, what I bought, that's usually $60 to $70. $125 I wind up spending for almost 10 items.
Wow. That's $55 more. That's crazy.
Yeah, but when I go to the supermarket or the grocery store, I pick up 4 items and that's $125.
Yeah, because, I mean, why? Why
Depends
you
on
picking up?
what you're going to.
Because he eats specific food types though.
I get everything on sale. I don't give a shit what the hell
Mike-
it is.
Mike
I get
has-
it. If it's on sale, it's
And
for
I
me.
don't watch the price of food ever.
He eats specific
Not
food,
food.
so it's different.
Everything else
Yeah.
but food, I'll spend all the money on food.
Yeah, again. Well, my
Stay healthy,
final
man.
thought
You get
is,
beefed up, so stay blessed. You know what I mean?
my final thought is, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stay focused. Look, study, understand. Things are coming. What I cannot tell you exactly what, but we are going to face some tremendous.
Bless.
And some of the things where I said things are coming, which some of them don't believe in, it's also biblical. So there are things are coming. This administration, I like what some of the things
I've
Trump
been
are
hearing that.
doing. I like some
I've
of the
been
things what
hearing
Trump
that
are doing.
forever.
I big him up for that.
God is coming. This is coming. Everything.
I
is
mean,
coming.
it's reality.
Yo,
And
I
just so
mean,
you know, MAGA Porter for Bronxboro president.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the campaign we're running, Mr. MAGA
Mr.
Porter.
MAGA Porter. President, sir.
I'm bothered that you
Borough
ran with
president, sir.
that. This guy's a pitch that, and you ran with it.
Anyway, guys, thank you for
I
joining
thought it was
us.
your final
Night,
thought.
guys.
And we hope you join us next week.
Yeah,
Same
check
time,
out our
same
game
place.
show. Check out our game
Our
show.
game
It's
show,
gonna be-
the game night is we're gonna set a date when we do the pre-recording and upload them. But check on us. Check out. We have 1 episode up there so far, so please check it out.
When are we doing Postal Girls Gone Wild?
Oh my goodness. Anyway, have a good night. See you. Stay blessed. Peace out.
Later.